again, in 2021, early 2021, they had hired a third party, and I believe it was uh, General Dynamics, I believe, or one of the tech companies to handle the incoming calls for the complications that they, were potentially going to have regarding these vaccines. In other words, they'd set up an 800 number to call if you had a complication. And I think it was General Dynamics. I might be wrong. But one of the tech company came back to the FDA and said, "Hey, you guys told us that we were going to be fielding about 1,000 calls a month. We're fielding like 1,500 calls a day.
Yeah.
And you didn't pay us enough money and we don't have enough manpower. We need to hire more people to do this." But at the same time, you've got Anthony Fauci and Rochelle Walensky and Deborah Birx and all these people on TV saying, "Oh no, we're not seeing any, messages. There's no, we're not seeing any signals. All this is, it's perfectly safe." But behind the green screen of what it is that they're talking about, they've got a five-alarm fire going on, and they're not
Right.
saying anything to anybody about it. And that is just, I mean, these people, we talked about morality earlier. The morality of these people that over money, because a lot of these people got paid a shit ton of money, and they got paid a lot, a lot in terms of, I mean, the CDC owns half of the Moderna patent. And
Oh,
so they
let
get,
that sink
they
in.
get royalties from it. They
Half.
own half of the patent. Shortly before this, in 2019, Ralph Barrick signed over 50% ownership of the patent to Moderna.
And
So
what
it's
is it
something.
about you specifically, do you think, that gave you the mindset, the personality, the foundations to actually stand up to the tyranny?